Chapter 7, Verbal Dynamics Listening. Listening is a skill that can be improved with practice. It is an active process through which people select, attend, understand, and remember. Your listening style is your preferred way of making sense out of spoken messages you hear. There are 4 types of listening styles: people-oriented listeners, action-oriented listeners, content-oriented listeners, and time-oriented listeners. Steps for active listening: stop, look, listen, ask appropriate questions, and paraphrase content. Nonverbal dynamics. Nonverbal dynamics is communication behavior that does not rely on written or spoken words. This includes body posture and movement, eye contact, facial expression, seating arrangement, personal appearance, use of time, and tone of voice. Emblems are nonverbal cues that have specific verbal counterparts and are shared by all group members. Illustrators are nonverbal behaviors that add meaning to accompanying verbal messages. Affect display are nonverbal cue that communicates emotion. Regulators are nonverbal behaviors that help group control the flow of communication. Adapters are nonverbal acts that satisfy personal needs and help people adapt to their immediate environment. Types of nonverbal functions. There's cognitive function, to indicate through processes; monitoring function, the way you seek feedback from others when communicating with them; regulatory function, nonverbal behavior that helps a group control the flow of communications; expressive function, eye contact or lack of it reveals information about thought processes, provides feedback, regulates communication channels, and expresses emotions; posture, movement, and gestures provide information regarding status, intensity of attitude, warmth, approval seeking, group climate, immediacy, deception. Eye contact serves cognitive, monitoring, regulatory, and expressive functions. Facial expressions communicate emotion, especially happiness, anger, surprise, sadness, disgust, and fear. Vocal cues, the pitch, rate, volume, and quality of voice communicate emotion, credibility, and personality perceptions. Personal appearance, clothing, body shape, and general attractiveness influences others' perceptions and reactions. Communication environment. The general attractiveness or unattractiveness of physical space contributes to the group's productivity and overall group climate. Interpreting nonverbals. Steps to interpret nonverbals. Look for clusters of cues. Recognize that people respond differently to different stimuli. Consider cultural and gender differences. Consider your past experience with someone when interpreting nonverbal cues. Look for cues that communicate like power and responsiveness. Immediacy, power, responsiveness. Immediacy is behaviors that signal liking, attraction, and interest. Power is behaviors that communicate power, status, and influence. Responsiveness is behaviors that communicate active interactions and attention.